Hey everybody, welcome to the Loose Cannons. What's up? I'm Samuel. I'm my co-host Stank, and no Poppy Latte tonight, but we are hanging out with the one, the only, the legend, Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Donnie Abraham. Donnie, welcome to the show. The show brought to you guys by Sauce and Wings, keeping the Tampa area sauced up with the best wings, loaded mac, vegan, vegetarian friendly options. Sauce and Wings stay saucy. They're going to be hanging out with us this weekend at Bootleggers Brewing. They're bringing their wings. They're bringing their mac and cheese. We're watching the freaking Panthers and the Bucs. We got $4 Loose Cannons Lager, 10% off everything else in the bar. It's going to be awesome. We got freaking live music. We've got projectors. We've got TV. It's going to be an amazing time. You guys need to check us out. Come out there. And also our friends For the Bay Clothing are going to be out there. They're Tampa based. Tampa Bay sports merchandise for everything Bucks, Bolts, Rays. Check them out. ForTheBayClothingCo.com. Use the code for TB Loose. Get 10% off your order. Show them some love. Show us some love. Probably a bit late to get those gifts in, but you never know. You can always grab some post-Christmas gifts if you want. Check them out. That's the place to go. All right.
Yeah, not everybody sees their family on Christmas though.
Yeah, there you
Some
go.
team the next day. So yeah, I would come out, load up on For the Bay. So I'm a little disappointed that Poppy Latte's not here, but he's out there delivering packages to your wives right now.
Wow. Listen.
That didn't
Big,
sound right.
no, it didn't.
But I mean, am I lying?
No, you're not. Big news this week, Donnie. We will no longer have the services of the great Chris Godwin the rest of the way here through the playoffs, Super Bowl, wherever we end up. No Chris Godwin, unfortunately, but AB is back. So, you as a DB, feel like this is a good question to ask you. What is AB going to bring to the table here with the absence of Chris Godwin? What's he going to do that Chris was able to do that he can do as well? And what is he going to bring that we've maybe been missing?
I mean, Chris is a big loss. I mean, we've been on this show before, and y'all know how fond I am of Chris and his skill set and the type of receiver that he is. So he's definitely going to be missed severely going into the playoffs. But AB got 9 lives, man. He just keeps hanging around. Things keep happening in his favor. Hopefully he can kind of take advantage of this, kind of continue to work on himself. And but he's a great player. I mean, he's gonna fill that void that the Bucs have right now. He's gonna have to be the #1 receiver now. He's gonna have to play like it. Because there's a lot of injuries, a lot of playmakers are down. But he has the skill set to carry the team. Um, Hopefully he can do that because he's missed a few weeks, and he's got a kind of end of the year older player. I mean, he just have to come ready because now everything's gonna be on his shoulders.
Donnie, do you foresee us leaning on our three tight ends a little bit more? I mean, are we going to be forced to kind of change our identity a little bit, or do you think Bruce is just going to be like, "Fuck it, we do what we do, next man up. I don't care who's out there." What do you think the change? There's got to be a change because you got all that production that you're going to have to, find other players to fill.
I think, and that's what's so good with the Bucs. I mean, they have so many weapons. I mean, yes, utilizing the tight ends more. I think running the ball a little bit more. We saw a glimpse of last week of the receiving cores of the guys that stepping up. Didn't quite make the plays last week, but those guys I feel will be better this week. So Bruce Arians is kind of a wild card, man. He he may come out throwing the ball every play. Tom may throw 50 times. Who knows? But I do know that there's a difference when you're a backup player and you get thrust into the game unexpectedly. So those guys could have been caught off guard a little bit last week. Now they've kind of had week to prepare, understand that they're going to be a starter, they're going to have a major role, and things like that. So I think they will play. The receiving core will play better this week. Of course, having AB back helps, and then Gronk is going to have to step up as well. When you have that many weapons, you can kind of buy your time. Like Gronk can sit over here and let everybody else get their catches. Now he has to be a major focus, and he has to produce.
Aside from the wide receivers, Donnie, we've got more injuries in the backfield now. It looks like Leonard Fournette probably not going to have him until at the earliest, the first playoff game of the season.
Right.
So enter Rojo out of the doghouse. We haven't really seen him since the fumble in the first quarter of the first week of the season. He's kind of played sporadically. He ran pretty well the other night when he had his chances. He looked like he took himself out of the game every couple of plays. I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but maybe there's a little bit of pouting behavior going on there. So 2 questions here: is this Rojo's time to shine per se? And what do you say to a guy who's kind of just been ignored, kind of been maybe outcast by the coaching staff the entire season, and now all of a sudden they kind of have to lean on him? What do you say to a guy like that who maybe might have a bad attitude right now, but we need him to shine? Like, do you see him taking advantage of that, and what do you say to him?
Well, hopefully he understands that this is a great opportunity for him. He has to come in. He has to kind of earn the coaching staff's trust again. He has to play well for himself because he needs that. Like I said, he's kind of been in the doghouse a little bit, but you only remember for what you've done, your latest stuff. So if he can come in and he can produce and he can carry the load until Fournette gets back, I mean, all that says a lot about him, and his growth and his opportunity and stuff. So, he did run the ball hard when he, came in last week and everything. His Rojo thing is his hands, because as we know in this offense, they utilize the running backs a lot. I mean, Fournette has, turned out to be an incredible pass catcher for Tom Brady out of the backfield. And that's kind of one of Rojo's weaknesses, catching the ball. So hence, that's why they go out and grab Bell, because he can do that. He's a versatile back that can catch the ball out of the backfield. But this is a great opportunity for him. He just have to realize he can't let the past affect what he has going in the future right now. So he has to step up. I think he's going to do a great job, and he's going to kind of wiggle himself out of that doghouse.
You kind of beat me to it when I was going to ask you to follow up on that. They go and they get Le'Veon Bell. And this is not Le'Veon Bell of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I haven't really seen him play much the last couple of years. When he has played, obviously he doesn't look the same. He's not the guy that we once remember. But what can Bucs fans expect from him? Not that the Bucs have signed him. Like, well, how do you think they're going to use him, especially this week and maybe moving forward as they kind of try to fill that role that Lenny kind of took up?
I mean, based on the Bucs' history, when they sign you, you gonna play.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Richard Sherman; they threw him in there immediately, and we haven't seen him since. But Carlton Banks, not Carlton, Carlton Davis came back. They played him immediately. 100% of the snap. So when the Bucs sign you, they're gonna play you. So I hope Bell is ready because he's gonna get a load. I think they're going to use him more of that pass catching third down back, coming out of the backfield and stuff. And I think it does, depends on Rojo too. I mean, if he's playing well, then I don't think they have to use Bell as much. But I think Bell will have a significant role in the Bucs offense going forward.
I mean, Carlton Banks is a good prospect coming out of Bel Air. You guys might want to check his tape out. Just Google that.
You see, I watched the Fresh Prince. You see
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
I still watch it today. The rerun, funny as ever.
Donnie, what did the Saints do to really give this offense a hard time? I mean, it looks like they were suffocating us. What did you see on tape when you watched the game?
I mean, I don't know what the Saints are just one of those nemesis teams for us, man, especially during the regular season. But they do a great job defensively, I think. They play hard. Their pass rushers are relentless. Their DBs play aggressive. They play man coverage. They play press man, getting their hands on the receivers. And for some reason, they just give us trouble. And they're just one of those nemesis during the regular season. During the playoffs, we seem to have no problem with them. But coming in the regular season, they always give us issues just because they play hard. The defense plays well. They play aggressive style defense versus us. And as the offense, if you're off a little bit, then they're going to capitalize off of that. And I think we were off a little bit offensively. I mean, Gronk dropped, a few passes. A lot of injuries we had. So, that just, accumulating with how aggressive they play, and they just give us trouble. And then Sean Payton is always, you know, he always does what it takes for them to win, to get an edge. I mean, I think our defense will play well, and whenever you can hold offense to 9 points, you should win. But you're not going to win, like Tom Brady said, you're not going to win if you don't score any points. So, we just struggle with them a little bit.
That game probably looked a lot like a lot of the games you played in here, where you guys
Yeah,
did
yeah,
everything you could, but it
right. I
just
mean,
number 12 looked like Dilfer out there. You never know, man. What
right.
what what do the Saints do that other teams just cannot do to us? I don't feel like they have the best secondary in the entire NFL. Like, why is it that they're able to just do this to us? And another thing I noticed is our offensive line played probably the worst game since Tom Brady's been here. I saw a lot of these guys who were in the Pro Bowl, by the way. Congrats to them. They were on their ass, on their back a lot of the times. And it felt like a playoff atmosphere in the stands. It felt like the Saints were playing in a playoff game. But for the Bucs, outside of the defensive side of the ball, everybody else looked like they were just going through the motions, which is a little odd. What did you see out there from the offense in terms of maybe their energy levels or how they took this game, how they approached their opponent? It seemed like they weren't ready.
Well, I think you said something key right there when you said the Saints took this as a playoff game. I mean, because they have to. They have to play. They have to win games in order to have a shot for the playoffs. So they every game going forward is a playoff game for the Saints, and the Saints are kind of playing with that sense of urgency, like we played last year going into the playoffs and the end of the regular season. So it was just a different energy. Like I said, defensively, the Saints were playing aggressively. Because they have nothing to they can just throw everything at the Bucs because they have nothing to lose. So they match match them, and they just, like I said, they're the nemesis during the regular season.
When you're
Donnie,
you're a defensive player. One last question. I got to piggyback on this thing. Sorry.
I think you're gonna answer. You're gonna ask my question.
You're a defensive player, all right. And we said before the game that the Bucs on offense need to come out in this game. This is big brother. You know that they're going to play aggressively against us. Punch them in the mouth. What happens to the mentality of a defense when you guys are out there? You want to be aggressive, and the offense comes out and just delivers that first punch. Like, talk about what that does to you as a defense and how it kind of lays out the rest of the game, and if it changes things or if it how do you guys respond to a team that does that? Because the Bucs offense obviously did not do that. But what would have happened to the Saints defense if that did happen?
Well, I mean, it probably would have been a different ball game. I mean, not defensively, but offensively. You get confidence when you come out playing against an aggressive defense and you take it right down the field and punch them in the mouth and score. That amps up the defense even more. But I don't know how more amped up the defense could have been. They gave up 9 points, and it just didn't seem like our offense could get on track. I mean, they were on the train on the track, and they were just kept getting off, and they just couldn't stay on the right track.
And not just 9 points though. 9 points on how many possessions did New Orleans have? A lot.
They had a lot.
Yeah, and that's what was even more impressive. They
Right.
held them to 9 points when New Orleans, had 20 plus possessions. It felt like.
You probably did.
Right.
Donnie, your great friend, your good friend, came out after the game. There was a lot of debate on Twitter about the hit on Godwin. Rondé came out and essentially said he thought it was dirty. How do you feel about that hit?
Well, I wouldn't say it was a dirty hit. It was an unfortunate hit because it took out one of our best players. But what do you want the defenders to do? I mean, you can't hit high. Now you're saying you can't hit low. So sooner or later it's going to be you got to hit him in the hip. Unless it's going to be, if you don't hit him in the hip, it's going to be a penalty. I mean, everything is against the defense. A receiver can lower their head and make helmet-to-helmet contact, and the penalty is on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
When they first started this, they came out and they said they were going to penalize the offense for lowering their head as well too, because as a defender, once you commit, you may be committing at a low level, and then the offensive player go lower, and the heads hit, the penalties on the defense. So I wouldn't say dirty, but it was unfortunate. Could he have hit him higher? Yeah, but you're looking at defenders, and shoot, defenders want to stay in the game. you know, uh, it was unfortunate that one of our best players got hurt, but I don't consider it a dirty hit. You know, could he have done something different? Yes. Could he have gone a little higher? Yes. But the rules are you can hit them as low as you want. It's just unfortunate. One of our players got hurt.
Yeah, I kind of saw it the same way. To me, it was bang bang. I don't think it's not like one of those plays where a safety lights up a receiver, crossing the field and just sets him up for the death blow. It just seemed like he went low because Godwin. Let's be honest, Godwin's a beast. If you better bring your lunch pail if you want to tackle that guy. So I personally didn't see it that way, but a lot of people did. A lot of people are calling for PJ Williams' head and saying he needs to be suspended and all this stuff. And I hate the Saints. And he played for Florida State. I don't like him, period. I don't like where he went to college, anything. I just didn't see it that way, personally.
He came off of his knees. He was on his knees. And if it was one play, I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. But he did it multiple times throughout the game. He tried.
Everybody goes at Gronk's legs.
Everybody
goes.
How many guys get down on both of their knees and then deliver the blow before the ball's even there? He was there on his knee before the ball even was in Godwin's hands. You don't have to hit him in his knee. He clearly was hitting him from a much lower trajectory than he should have been. That's why it looks dirty. Is it dirty? I don't know the fucking guy. I have no idea if it's dirty. To me, it looks. It comes off dirty because of the way it happens and the fact that it happened multiple times throughout that game.
Well, everybody considers it dirty because the player got hurt. If he didn't get hurt, everybody would have been, oh man, just stay up, hit him a little higher. But now that he got hurt, it's dirty. Like those plays happen every week, every game. You see when they're running screen plays and offensive linemen are getting out, those DBs coming up low. They're not coming up to hit those offensive linemen high. So you see cutting and stuff like that happen every game, every play. The fact that somebody got hurt now is dirty. Mm-hmm. That's our world. That's how we look at stuff. When it doesn't go your way, oh, it must have been this. It must have been that.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate. Nobody wants to see any player on the field get hurt, especially not one of our best and top receivers. But I don't consider it dirty. Could he have done something different? Yes. Was he on his knees? Yes. Could he have been a little higher? Yes. But just like Stink says, Godwin is a big dude now. Mm-hmm. And I'm, so it's just unfortunate that Chris Godwin got hurt. Mm-hmm. I hope a speedy recovery for him, a full recovery, that he can come back even bigger and better than what he was. But I wouldn't say dirty play. Could he have done some things differently? Yes, but that's every week,
Speaking of safeties, Antoine Winfield didn't play the last game. Looks like he hasn't really practiced this week either. But we do get Mike Edwards back. So as a DB, I got to ask you, how important is it to get a guy with his versatility where he can play across the entire secondary to kind of come in and fill in that gap if Antoine doesn't go again this week? How important is it to have Mike Edwards back this week, Donnie?
It's huge to have him back this week. This is the time that as a team, you want to be close as you can to healthy. And I wouldn't say, no team can be 100% healthy, but you want to at least be close to 80, 85, 90% as a team being healthy, because this is the playoff push now. So it's huge getting Mike Edwards back, especially like you said, with his versatility. Now you can do some things, mix and match with the secondary and kind of move some guys around. But we need Antoine back as well too. We need to start getting healthy, because going into the playoffs, limping into the playoffs, it won't be good. I know that's not what the fans want to hear, but we had a chance to, for that number one seed, and now with that was a huge loss. Because now we're falling back, not getting that, bye week would have been huge, but now, we're not healthy as a team, and we may not have a shot for the number one seed. So, I mean, it's going to be a dogfight for us going into playoffs this year.
Mhm.
But if anybody can do it, a Tom Brady led team, a Bruce Arians coach team, as long as you get in, and that's the name of the game, getting into the playoffs, and you can prepare 1 week at a time.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily worried about the number one seed personally. I am more worried about what you just stated, coming in with some momentum, coming in playing some good ball, whether it's one seed or whatever. I mean, obviously we're in prime position to win the division outside of some kind of crazy, losing streak catastrophe, which I just don't see, especially based on who our opponents are. Um, but yeah, I'd like to see them playing better ball, and I really think we're gonna have to rely on this defense. I don't know, especially down one of your biggest weapons. The defense has
Right.
got to play a bigger role and step up and really contribute and possibly score some points for us to get that kind of momentum going into the playoffs. Because we already know the NFC's full of beasts, man.
Donnie agrees. Speaking about the defense, the last couple of weeks, I think they played really, really well. I mean, outside of kind of having the Bills get back in the game, and credit to the Bills, they have a amazing receiving core. They've got a fucking stud quarterback. Things are going to happen
Right.
like that. But in that first half, we really fucking stymied them. And a lot of that stuff came from Shaq. A lot of it came from Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. I never get the second half of his last name right.
Shoyinka.
Yeah, so I think he played his best game as a pro just the other night against the Saints. Now, there's a little bit of a debate going on with Bucs fans, and some of it's coming off of John Ledyard, who's been kind of writing it almost every single week that he should get more playing time. He shouldn't be splitting time in the way that he does with JPP, where JPP just dominates snap counts. But it was closer to like a 50-50 share. And that we all love JPP. You were once the savvy vet, Donnie, towards the end of your career, that eventually a younger guy was in there. What do you do with that scenario? What do you do with that situation with JPP is not doing the things that Joe is right now? And Joe helps this team on the defensive side. How do you deal with that situation if you're a head coach or if you're in JPP's shoes? Like, what do you do to, hey, JPP, you got to sit down. You're not 100%. Joe is. I feel like it's time for us to have more Joe than JPP.
Well, I mean, it's nothing like a veteran presence, that's on the field in the locker room. And the biggest thing is we're all fans now. I mean, I'm a former player, but I'm a fan now. We're not in there every day with them. We're not in the film room. We're not in the meetings. So we really have no clue what's going on. We're looking from outside in, with this whole situation. Of course, we're going to think the younger players should play more. The fans think Joe should play more, this and that. But there's a reason he's not playing more. There's a reason he's not playing more than JPP, and only the coaches know that reason. It could be not wanting to put too much on on the young fellow. It could be giving a veteran, a chance to, continue to lead the team with, because just by him being on the field, that's good for the Bucs defense for JPP. So it could be a whole multitude of things. Um, but we're not the coaches, we're not in it. We're not there every day with them. We're not putting in the hours. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So all I can say is just for everybody just to relax. Things happen the way they're supposed to happen. So maybe Joe is going to have an incredible playoff run for us and going to make incredible plays. His time is coming. He's going to have plenty of opportunities, to play and make plays and be an impact player for this defense. But I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, you got a veteran that's earned the right, whatever he's going through. Uh, he's maybe not 100% healthy, but who is at this point of the year? After you get after you get through 2 or 3 years in the league, once you get vested in the league, that 3 years, 4 games, you will never be as healthy, as when you were in college or high school. So,
Donnie,
it is.
you ever had a
That again.
rotator cuff issue like that, like JPP's dealing with?
I never had well, I can't say never because I broke my shoulder in that clavicle area, not the collarbone, but it's another area I can't even pronounce. So all that to me is connected.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean he's in some pain, but you just get the feel good stuff before the game, and and you can make it through, and things like that. But it is a tough injury to play with. But like I said, he's a savvy veteran. He understands. I think if JPP felt like he was really hurting his team, I think he's the type of guy to be like, hey, you know what? Let's get Joe some more rep. But I mean, the coaches
Yeah,
feel otherwise. The coaches feel like he's still doing pretty good.
but he's that guy. He's like Michael Jordan. He's not on Michael Jordan's level, but competitive nature. Him and Mike Evans, like these are guys just want to they just want to compete. They're gonna tell you what you
Right.
need to hear for them to get on the field. And at this point, if you like watch the film, you see what they're doing. Like Joe is more dynamic. Joe can do more. Joe is faster. Joe is younger. Does the coaching staff take into like do they kind of think about the fact that he's a veteran and he's a leader and they don't want to take this away from him and they don't want to disrespect him, or do they have to kind of think about it from a team first perspective? Is there some of that like do they have to balance that in there? I know you've been in that conversation at some point. Every
Right.
fucking NFL guy has gotten to the point where they're sat down and the coach say, "Hey, the younger guy needs to get more time over you." Like,
Right.
how do you
Right.
deal with that?
I mean, I think some coaches do balance that, but you got to understand who our head coach is.
Yeah,
Our head coach is Bruce Arians, who don't hold any punches.
don't give a shit. You're
So
right.
if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, he gonna go in the press conference and he gonna let it be known. He's gonna pull you aside. He's gonna talk to you, and if he's asked a direct question in the reporting room in the press conference, he's gonna let you know, because he calls out anybody on the team. So with the head coach Bruce Arians, I don't think those factors matter. I think JPP is doing enough that he's not hurting the team, because if he was, BA would be like, hey, dude, look, we got to let this young fella get in here because you're not pulling your weight. So I think the coach that we have, BA, I think if there was a big issue, I think he would nip it in the bud and he would make the necessary changes. So I don't think it's gotten to that point yet with JPP.
Well, they've been bringing in Joe and JPP on pass rush downs quite a bit, rushing
Right.
them both, and Joe's even played some three tech.
Right.
So I think they're trying to utilize them as much as possible without taking JPP off the field, because
Right.
JPP is that savvy guy, knowledgeable. Maybe he's not performing physically at the same level as he did last year. Clearly he's not.
Right.
But
And yeah,
yeah,
and you got to remember at this point of the year, there's a lot of people rotating anyway
mhm.
because it's the end of the year. So right now, remember one of our first segments we did, I told you about the different portions of the season. Well, they're on the tail end of the season right now. They trying to hang on.
Yeah.
So the rotations get a little bit challenging. The rotations get a little unique and different. Like you said, Joe is at three technique, JPP and Joe is on the field at the same time. So you do different things to try to save your players and put them in the best position to be successful for this time of the year. Because this is the time of the year where everybody's right now, everybody, hamstring a little tight, growing. I can't make the same breaks and moves at the same rate of speed that I did, at the beginning of the year. So right now, the rotations are a little unique. So that you're going to see some different rotations. You're going to see guys playing in, some different positions and things like that, because, they got to make it to the playoffs. Once you get in the playoffs now, it's survival. It's the you survive and move on. So everybody's at this point now where, man, they bodies are like, okay, like y'all added another week and another game too. So I mean, it's just rotation is going to be unique, going forward.
Yeah,
Donnie,
we had some extra games last year too. Don't forget, these guys physically are taxed, and I think
Yes,
we're seeing it. And
absolutely.
JPP's rotator cuff isn't going to get any better.
No,
So the
not at
people in the
all.
chat room who's saying rest JPP, that's not how it works with a rotator cuff.
Right.
It's surgery.
well,
That's how you heal.
my
a
thing
rotator
is
cuff.
that you can't bull rush with one arm, and you can't push
Right.
with a rotator cuff. You can't deal with you
Depends
can't
on where it is though, and
you
how
can't
severe
do
the tear
what
is.
you need to do. And I feel like I know he's a veteran, and I'm pretty sure Bruce is not holding punches back. But at some point, you got to be like, yeah, man, we're just better with Joe. And I understand maybe the vet presence helps because JPP can read a screen probably a lot quicker than Joe's going to recognize a screen, especially if it's something that they hide and they kind of got some trickeration lined up around it. So I get all that, but I want to kind of move over to something completely unrelated. Donnie, you probably played special teams in your day, at some point, maybe as a rookie. Do the Bucs have the worst fucking special teams in the NFL?
I wouldn't say they have the worst special teams. I
Your
just think
answer,
they're
that means
over.
yes. That means yes.
Well, I just I just think they're overlooked just because there's so many other stars or guys offensively. Everybody talks about Tom Brady and the offense. Everybody's talking about AB coming back. Everybody's talking about Gronk. Everybody's talking about how the offensive line. Now everybody's talking about, the defense, the defense. I just think everybody's putting so much emphasis on our offense and defense that the special team just kind of, understand like we're part of this team too. So maybe the special team might be pouting a little bit as well.
They
And it's
look
like, man,
lost.
okay,
They look like a
yeah.
fucking joke out there. Every time we punt the
Well,
ball, it's either we get one out of every one of these 10 punts, and I've always been a fan of his too. But his punts have just been like, lackadaisical, leave you, they're not the greatest. But worse than that is our
well,
fucking punt return team. I mean, what the fuck, man? We
yeah.
can't even not, we trip. We can't do anything once we catch the ball. Fucking Darden catches the ball at the 7-yard line, or he doesn't catch the ball when it's bouncing at the 20, and he lets it go to the 8-yard line or the 2-yard line. Multiple times against the Saints, we were pinned inside the 5 because the motherfucker couldn't make a decision. At one point, you're like, hey, guys, we fucking suck. How, what, you got to do something,
Well,
man. The
we
return
just
game is
gotta
terrible.
we just gotta make better. We just gotta make better decisions. I mean, this is special team took us to the Super Bowl last year as well too. So we won the Super Bowl with the same special team and special team coach and all of that. So just gotta make better decisions at better crucial parts of the game and all that. Special team to be fine.
We had a different return. We had a different returner last year. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
Darden looks like he's suffering from some
He's
confidence
lost.
issues. The coverage sucks. It's not like he's got these gaping holes to run through either. It's somebody's
Right.
right on top of him on a consistent basis.
No
To me,
special
what upsets
teams,
me more.
No special teams has gaping holes. It's all about the
right.
trajectory of the ball and how the ball comes down for when you go from college to the NFL. That's the only difference. He's clearly not. He doesn't get it yet. He doesn't know when the ball is a line drive and when it's high. Like he doesn't understand that shit. And I'm sorry, man. What our longest punt returns like -5 yards or some shit. We fucking suck at
No,
return.
he had one decent punt return. It was a bad game,
Come on.
period, for special
Yeah, it
teams.
was
It's
a
been like
bad-
that
yeah, it
all
was-
season. It's been like that all
We
season.
was
we
a
missed
bad
a
game.
field goal. The punter. I don't know what the fuck was going on with the punt game. So
Right.
yeah, man, you can't lose badly in 2 phases of the game like we did and expect to win.
Right.
Not to
Yeah.
mention, what people fail to remember is at the beginning of that game, Brady nearly threw a pick six inside the red zone.
Yeah.
That almost set the tone for me. Like he went back to releasing the ball super quick, not going through his progressions, and obviously we're getting whipped up front with and the Saints were just rushing 4. It was, like you said, man,
But
something about that team just gives this team fits.
Yeah,
we gotta-
it was just all.
We got to put the Saints game to rest, man. That's it.
Yeah, it was just all around bad game. I mean, everybody was just. I mean, the defense tried to hold, but it was just like you said. When you lose 2 out of 3 phases, it's gonna be tough.
Donnie, how about bringing back Carl the Truth Williams? I'm pretty sure you're
Hey,
still
well-
friends with Carl, right?
Yep. Yeah. So So the NFL, I guess it's gonna be like the NBA. Y'all see the stuff going on in the NBA now, right? They talk about all the older players gonna be walking back in because everybody's going out for COVID. So I
Yeah.
mean, we might as well. Shoot, might as well bring
Hey,
the old
listen,
players back.
Carl didn't fumble the ball. He knew when to fair
Right.
catch it. He knew when to hit the guys coming in to try to pin it. He knew when to hit those guys after he faked the fair catch, which I fucking never see anymore for some reason. It's like they stopped coaching you that. Are you not allowed to fake it and then go nail the motherfucker who's trying to pin it inside the one? I thought you could still do that. I don't see it. And Carl every now and then would rip one off. In the Super Bowl season, he ripped
I mean,
one
shit,
off.
bring back Grammatica too. Somebody in the chat just say,
why not, man?
he's still
Why
here.
not?
He's still here in Tampa.
Why not?
Yeah,
What are we going to see this Sunday against the Panthers, man? This team is not a good team. This Panthers team. They have some stars on the defensive side, but really outside of that, I don't. What do we expect here with the Bucs coming in off what we saw Sunday night against the Saints and now heading into this game with the Panthers?
I think we're going to see something similar defensively wise. I think defense is going to play well against them. They're talking about using two quarterbacks, in the game and all kind of stuff. But anyway, I think the defense will play well. I think you'll see our offense get it together. I think TB and those guys are going to go back to the drawing board and they breaking surfaces and stuff. He's going to want to come and have a great game this game. He can't be on the sideline anymore throwing stuff and doing all of that. So I think our offense will play well, and I think you'll see a good game from our special teams this game. So I think we should win this game with no problem. So we should be fine. We should get back on track.
Hey, listen, I gotta say, Brian Shaw in the chat, bro, go slap yourself in the face. You are so negative. Calm down, bro. We're 10-4. Okay, Jesus, I get it. Some of you guys are shook. We are one win away from securing the division.
Right.
Yes, we're wounded. Yes, we're going to limp in, but we got 12. That guy's going to get this team ready to play in the playoffs. And who knows? We may see the Saints again.
That'd be great. That'd be really great.
Yeah.
2 years in a row to fucking knock their asses out, make them fucking cry. It's not like they're going to be able to score more than 9 points. What did you guys say, Donnie? You guys said, give us 10 points, we'll get you guys a win, right? Fuck.
Oh, yeah. That's all it took. It was like, just give us 10 points, give us, and we'll take it from there. So, in defense, we always put on our shoulders anyway. Everybody was like, was it tough to play tight games like that? It's like, no. Because defensively, we always put it on our shoulders. Like, just give us a little help, and we'll take it from there. Because our motto was like, they don't score, they can't win. So
I was hoping Mike Shula would have made better adjustments at halftime, because that's what it felt like.
Don, I gotta ask you a question, man. You don't have to answer this, all right? Because I know you're probably still friends with a lot of these former teammates, but I'm gonna ask it, all right? So don't get offended. Did you guys ever? How many times were you genuinely pissed off at the offense after a game when you guys would lose it and you guys did fucking everything, and a certain quarterback would throw the game away on a pick six or a bad decision? How pissed off would you guys actually be, or was it still kumbaya all the fucking time?
We were never pissed off at the offense. Never.
Lying. It's Christmas, man. You can't lie. You can't lie, man. Come on, baby Jesus is flipping.
Man, you were in the locker room with 99, bro. I'm sure that guy said all kinds of shit.
How many players did it take to pull 99 back from Trent Dilfer's fucking locker?
Oh my goodness, yeah. We used to have to we used to get 99, like 10 guys and just stand in the way. Don't let him out.
Oh my God. I didn't actually think you'd answer that.
No, it's one of those things where we understood what it was. We knew our role. We knew we had to play well defensively in order to win. So it was no reason to get mad. Of course, now just the passion from playing and the adrenaline from the game. Sometimes you come in, you may say something, but then after that, it's done. Because it's just passionate. Everybody wants to win. Everybody's passionate about this game. So of course you would have a few heated moments, but nothing crazy, nothing ridiculous. Just just adrenaline flowing. guys taking pride in wanting to win and things like that. But nothing crazy.
Was Hardy Nickerson a locker room bully, or was he cool? Like
No, Hardy was. See, we had a few guys similar to Lynch. We had a few guys that could go in the phone booth and turn into Superman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Hardy was one of those guys, man. He was off the field, locker room, great personality, great guy. But when they put that uniform on and it's time to get going, and in practice, is no playing around, no bull driving, no nothing. You better get it right, and you better be hustling. You better be doing. I mean, it's easy to play when you got guys like that on your defense, because if you don't, they gonna knock you out. It don't even get to the coaches. It don't have to get to the coaches. We had coaches on the field, and Hardy was one of those guys, man, that didn't play. Like, man, you better get right. So you need that, and you need those type of players. But Hardy was one of when that helmet went on, when it was time to play. He was a freaking maniac. I mean, he was ready to knock any and everybody head off. Like, Hardy couldn't play now. I mean, he'd get kicked out of every game. Lynch would probably get kicked out of every game.
Lynch too, yeah.
But Hardy was a relentless player. When he put that helmet on, he was fierce, motivated, I mean, everything. So yeah, just a great dude.
All right, man. Before we end this show, we're gonna go to the Sauce and Wings hotline. We'll take a couple of calls. You cool with that, Donnie? Get a couple of calls from some fans. I know Lewis and SoCal's been waiting since the show started. So, Lewis, SoCal, you're on with the Loose Cannons and Donnie Abraham. Go ahead, man.
Sammer, Stank, Iceman, what's up, guys?
What up, Lewis?
What's going on?
Not much. Happy holidays to all y'all. And so first, a couple things. One, I didn't get to mention it on the post game from the Saints game, that Sam, you were right as far as the hit on CG. It looked like a dirty hit, but to my mind, it wasn't a dirty hit. It looked worse than what it was, because like Donnie said, the defensive players have pretty much their hands tied behind their backs. I mean, if they hit too high, they get. Not only do they get flagged, but they get, they don't want to be kicked out of the game. They don't want to lose game checks. They're going after their wallets too, because I mean, the defensive guys don't get paid as much as the offensive guys do. So that's something to look at as well. But as far as this game goes against Carolina, look, if there's guys like Ant-Man, if Evans can't go, we need these guys healthy for the playoffs. We had enough talent on the team to win that game on Sunday against the Saints. That team could have scored at least 10 points. Not trying to backtrack, but this team has enough talent to beat the Panthers twice and beat the Jets. The good thing is I think the defense is rolling right now. I think they're going to get really hot going into the playoffs. Whether we're starting the first round or second round, it doesn't matter. No matter who we play, it's going to be tough. Just about all 7 teams that are going to make it from the NFC are all going to be good squads. I'm confident in this team. I think 12 is going to have everyone ready. It sucks we don't have CG in a weird way when something like this happens, because we were so heavy on CG the last 3 or 4 ball games. Yeah. I didn't want to make it seem like no one else was doing their part, but I feel like this is going to open up opportunities for some of our other players to make poor plays. Gronk, Evans, now AB get more involved. Now we can get Rojo involved, and when Lenny does come back as well, get Perriman involved as well. I would like to see OJ Howard do something. One of these days, maybe they'll get some packages or get him involved or get him on the field a little.
Lewis, they got to throw him the ball though. As much as I shit on OJ,
it's not gonna happen.
It's not like he's got all these opportunities and not doing anything with them. They're just not using them.
Is there a reason for that, Stank, though? Because to me, if BA can see you can play, you're going to be out there playing, and they're going to make plays for you. I mean, if Tom can see you can play and he trusts you, he's going to get you out there.
But,
playing.
I mean,
BA said from the beginning. BA said from the beginning he's not a tight end guy.
He doesn't use his tight ends. Like, the only reason Gronk gets as much play as he does is because, one, he's Tom's guy, and Gronk doesn't only play tight end, but he's a fucking phenomenal blocker. If he wasn't as good of a blocker, if Gronk wasn't as good a blocker as he was, he would not see the field as much. I guarantee it. He's able to do two two things on that field, which makes him harder to guard, harder to anticipate what he's going to do, which helps us on offense. But OJ is not going to get those opportunities. If it hasn't happened, it's not going to happen. I mean, that's
He should though.
Also,
it doesn't matter. It's not going to happen.
Gronk is probably the greatest, arguably the greatest tight end to ever play. That's a whole other thing, and he's also one of the smartest tight ends to ever play.
Donnie could
I'm
guard
not saying
him.
OJ's not.
Donnie could guard him.
Donnie, yes, Donnie was a badass motherfucker. Donnie, he could go, yeah, he could guard him.
Yes, sir.
But but as far as this game goes, I think we should. You guys know I've called on the show before, and I've questioned Rojo. I love Rojo. I love his talent. I know he has shortcomings as far as catching and pass blocking. We all know he can run that football. He can run, and he can run hard, and he can run strong. What we've questioned, at least I've brought up, he needs to be more mentally tough. He can't be pouting like a baby on the sidelines about why he's not getting his. Right now, the job is his. He can go out there, make the plays, and make it his. This is his opportunity, just like Lenny made it his opportunity last year, and he took that job pretty much from him. Not saying Rojo's going to take that opportunity from him, but this is his chance to show what he can do, because what's the NFL stand for? Not for long?
Yeah.
Especially for running backs. He has a chance to make some plays, but I think these last 3 weeks, these are good rush defenses that he can make some plays against. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't win all three. People that want to jump off a building because we're 10-4, I mean, that's pretty crazy to me. I mean, we've been Bucs fans for so damn long. I mean, some of the shit we've had to see for the last 30 years, right, besides the Super Bowl team and last year's team. Between that, there wasn't really much to cheer about.
Hey, be careful. Be careful. You got Donnie Abraham in here, bro. Yeah. You know, there was a good stretch in there in the last 30 years.
Listen, we went through 2-14 teams where we were going in every week thinking, oh, we're going to win this game. 3-13 teams leading up to the Jameis years. And then we had the Jameis years. Like, listen, we're 10-4. I will suck 10-4's dick all fucking day. All right. We came from 2-14. 2-14. That's a crackhead on the side. 2-14. 10-4.
Yeah,
I'm happy, dude. I'm fucking happy with 10-4. Donnie will tell you, he'll take 10-4 all day long.
Yeah, Bucs fans got spoiled real quick, didn't they?
Yeah, man, motherfuckers are bougie.
Yeah. Hey, they got bougie real quick.
Real quick, bro.
Yeah, sit down at the games. Hey, don't stand up. Well, we're not. I mean, shut the fuck up, man.
They don't remember the old one book. They done got bougie. You know what I'm saying?
No, they don't. They don't. You were snorting jet fumes out there.
Jet fumes, exactly.
Lewis is
doing
so
three a days.
I'll let you finish up. Real
I did have
man.
a quick question for Donnie. You guys were kind of talking about some of the old days. I wanted to know. I've always kind of wondered because Tony used to hold you guys up to a really, really high standard, almost play being perfect out there. I'll hang up after I ask this. How come Tony? It didn't seem like he ever held the offense to at least as maybe half of what the standard that the defense was held to.
Great question.
All right, thanks guys. I'll see you around.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Lewis. Go ahead, Donnie. You don't have to answer that question, Donnie.
Yeah, great question.
That was a great question. You know, and I just think it goes back to what your background is. You know, I think even though Tony played quarterback and stuff, you know, he was a defensive guy. So he always held the defense to a higher standard. Now that doesn't mean that the offense standard was low. Like those guys were doing what they could do. you know, so it's not like he wasn't pushing them or motivating them or, you know, he wasn't lowering their standard. They were just doing the best that they can do. But he just always held the higher standard to the defense because, you know, that's kind of his thing.
That's a good answer. It makes a little bit of sense too. But people have said that a lot though. Last, 10, 20 years. That's always come up as the one thing is that maybe Tony didn't hold everybody else to the same standard he held you in 99 and 55. I mean, how many Hall of Famers did Tony have on that side of the ball versus you guys?
Exactly. That's why you got to hold that side of the ball. You know, because you got Hall of Famers on that side of the ball. So you better do something.
No offense to Eric Rett, because I think he's a big motherfucker, so I don't want him pissed off at me. But it worked. That was like the best offensive weapon we have.
Eric Rett is underrated, bro. That guy, as the game went on, he was a tough runner, man.
He was the goal line guy, dude. That for 1996, 97, he was goal line man. While what's his name, Dunn got more of that play throughout the rest of the field. But I remember Eric Rett would come in and fucking pound it at the 1 yard line. Even when Allstott was having a good game. All right, I'm gonna go to a couple more calls and then we're gonna call it a night, guys, because we got holidays. I'm sure Donnie's got.
I got a salad. I gotta eat my salad.
Yeah, I'm not worried about your salad. I'm gonna go to the 770. This might be Corey in Nashville. You're on with the Loose Cannons. You're on the Sauce and Rings hotline. Go ahead.
What up, fellas?
What up, Corey?
Nashville. Corey.
No, Corey, start over. No,
Merry Christmas.
That energy's shit. Start over. Go.
Man. What
There
up?
we
It's Corey from Nashville.
There we go.
There we
What's
go.
up? Merry Christmas, fellas. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Oh,
Christmas.
Hey,
Oh.
same to you, man.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Abraham. Hope you're doing all right, man.
I'm doing well, man. I hope
So,
you're doing well too.
Check it out, guys. I know you guys you hit on the Saints game. I'm not talking about that game anymore. I'm talking about going forward now. Because quite frankly, with us coming out that game with those injuries, that was much more devastating, in my opinion, than the result, just because it's not going to change much in the grand scheme of things. I'm excited to see how we respond back offensively this weekend, because I think Carolina, for all of their flaws, have a pretty talented defense. So it's going to let me know a lot of how we respond. And there was plays to be made Sunday. We lost 9-0, but there was plays to be made. We just didn't make them. And sometimes when it comes down to execution. And I just want to know, I want to ask you guys, because I've been pounding my head on it. How, in your opinions, how do we get back to the Super Bowl this year? What do we lean on? Look,
All right.
what do you guys think?
All right. You want to hang up and listen to our answers?
Yeah, just real quick.
Donnie.
you got 20
I got to let Donnie answer this one.
Well, I think you got to lean on. You know, I'm gonna say lean on defense. I mean, the defense have to play well, and TB12 has to orchestrate the offense, and because it's going to be tough. Like I said, there's a lot of very good teams in the NFC, so it's going to be tough. But it was tough last year too, and we were just in a rhythm, hitting the playoffs, and we just ran through the playoffs in a great rhythm, and everybody was playing well. So it's going to be tough this year because we have those injuries, and we're not quite clicking on all cylinders right now. But you know, like Sting said a little bit, we gotta win some phases. We gotta win some special team battles. Offense and defense have to perform. One of those two teams have to perform well, and the other one just have to be solid. You know, so I think if we can do that, then we got a good chance, because we have playmakers, we have TB12, we got BA as the head coach. You know, no risk it, no biscuit. So it will be tough, but I think we can do it again.
Yeah, let me remind people, Tom Brady's done way more with way less.
Right.
And if you do remember, Godwin was not performing well going into the playoffs last season. You know what I mean?
Or in the playoffs.
Yeah, or in the playoffs in general. There's enough
though.
talent on this team to still dominate.
Right.
There is. There just is. So, yeah, if you were, what are we going to lean on? To me, it's the offense. I think the defense is good enough, just like they were last year. And if we get healthy, they could be very good. They haven't been healthy all season long. Yeah, and then special teams just has to step the fuck up, man. They just do.
Nah, I think, listen, the offense last few years across the league has always been just fucking score points, throw the ball over the yard, this whole thing. But last year and a half, it looks like teams that can run the ball are the teams that are successful in the playoffs, teams that can dominate the line of scrimmage. And I've always been a line of scrimmage guy. I like the fat guys. Line of scrimmage for the Bucs. That's how you win. That's how you get back to the Super Bowl. That's how you get back to the promised land. Run the fucking ball. You do that, you can control more than just the offensive side of the game, because now you can control the game, time of possession for the other team. You can score 30 points. You can limit their opportunities. Defense, I feel like, is on an upward trajectory. They're going to be playing better and better as the season goes on. Just run the ball well, and then let Tom do what Tom does. If you run the ball and you dominate and you play physical, I think that's what they're going to do. And they kind of did that last year. Playoff Lenny, came alive in that Washington game, whether from opportunity or getting it, whatever it was. He got his time to shine, and the team leaned on that shit throughout the rest of the playoffs. They ran the ball well against New Orleans too, and against the Panthers.
Yeah. And I don't know if you remember me telling you that's a great key, because time of possession means everything in the playoff.
Yeah.
Because teams are worn down by the time they get to that point. So the team that can keep the ball the longest, most likely, is the team going to win. That team has to run the ball, just like you're saying, Sam.
Great points.
Okay.
I learn from you, Donnie. I pay attention, man. I take mental notes.
I'm with Donnie 100% on we have to lean on the defense. I think we're at a spot in the season now. Maybe these next 2 games, Tom Brady plays well. He'll sew up the MVP, which would be great for him at 44, which I think has been our narrative all season. We're trying to get him this MVP because it's been staring us right in the face. But I do think once the playoffs hit, first of all, it'd be awesome to have a playoff game in Ray J. That's going to be I can't wait.
You better get your ass down here, motherfucker. No excuses.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Listen.
Donnie's going to pay for your ticket, your flight, everything.
You heard it here first.
And I think that's going to be awesome. And it is good. You know, Mike would be fine, knock on wood, and Lenny would be fine, knock on wood. So Tom has a chance to build a little more continuity with some other guys and get AD back into the swing of things. Donnie, but before I go, quick question, because you played the game and you played the position. Was P.J. Williams hit? I missed the early part of the show, but
he covered
was that a dirty hit in your opinion?
He said,
in my opinion, no, it wasn't a dirty hit, but you know.
Okay.
We talked about it for a good 10
minutes. We talked about that for about 10 minutes and stuff. Yeah. I just think the outcome.
But you know, when you call in, you can't hear the show at the same time.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Well, you know what? You should maybe invest in a smart TV there. Corey in Nashville, you should get a smart TV.
I got a bunch of dumb shit around here, man. Well, you know, when I'm on hold, I like to multitask. So I'm playing the game or I'm just reading a book or something, you know, being leisurely.
You read a book while listening to this nonsense.
Yeah, dude.
Well, right. While I'm on hold. All right, man. I like to get my questions.
Reading The Catcher on the Rye while he's on hold.
Go Bucs.
Go Bucs.
Let's finish this thing out strong. And please tell the Saints fans to kiss your ring, bitch, when they try to talk.
Do.
They're done. Their season's done. They won their Super Bowl, and it's great. Good job for them. Good job for them.
Corey, you know I've been swatting them like flies.
There's a level of poverty that I don't speak to. You know that about me. You've seen me when I walk around.
I didn't know they were this bad. I mean, I knew they were this bad, but I didn't know they were this bad.
I don't talk to people beneath a certain median line there, man. You know that. Donnie gets it. You know.
But I just wanted to talk to y'all.
Donnie doesn't even go to the stadium unless it's a fucking suite. Apparently, I don't know what the fuck's
right.
bad.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I'll call you guys later.
See you in the playoffs, Corey. All right, I'm going to take one more caller. This is Smitty, our boy in Atlanta, and then we're going to sign off probably until pregame. Might do a Fan Friday. I don't know how everyone's feeling. It's Christmas Eve. I'm not interested in all that. So, all right, Smitty, you're on with the Loose Cannons. You're on the Sauce and Wings hotline. You got 60 seconds, bro. Come on.
I know I got 60 seconds, man. Let me get it in. What's up, family?
What up?
Everybody in the chat line. This is your truck driver, a.k.a. Smitty, Uncle Smitty. Man, yeah, man, a couple of things I got to say, man. Shout out to B.A., man. He pimp slapped the hell out of Jenny Lane when she asked him that question. And he's like, boy, that's my dude. He hit her so hard, he knocked her over
when she asked him about
about Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Boy, he pimp slapped the hell out of her. He said, I ain't worried about that shit. I said, oh, damn. There's something here. Anyway, fellas, back to the game. I'm over the game. Anyway, man, I was going to ask Donnie a question, man. You think they should be using, now that all the receivers are damn near gone, should we start using OJ a little bit, man? Because at one point in his life, when he had the Buccaneers, he was doing pretty good, man. I don't know what happened. They're not utilizing them enough. I think I might have seen him one time in the game. I just want to ask you what you think, bro.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit as well too. But yeah, I think they should utilize him more. I mean, they're gonna need, all hands on deck right now. I mean, especially with all these injuries we have, they need to use everybody that's available and healthy to go. So yes, they do need to use OJ more.
I think they
will. One more question. I'm gonna be out of here. I'm sipping on my cognac right now. Black people have their opinions about the new guy we just picked up. He ain't new.
Le'Veon Bell.
And they talking about why they get him. I said, well, who in the hell are we supposed to get? He knows the system. He may not be as good as he used to be. We need somebody. God forbid if something happened to Rojo, he get hurt. Who we got? Vaughn? Come on, man. We got to get on hands on deck. They knew what they was doing. We had to get somebody. Oh, he's washed up. Man, I'm going to hear that right now. We need somebody that ain't going to drop the ball. At least he could block.
Yeah, but don't be too quick to say the guy's washed up. He went to the Jets, which is no man's land.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then got picked up by a Ravens team that has a weird offense. What they do on offense maybe didn't necessarily fit what he does well.
This
is
the
right. That's why
it's a whole
they
different
run,
ball.
right,
no,
exactly.
no. They run the ball. He wasn't.
They
even
run
a
the
starter.
ball, but
he wasn't. A
But
starter.
I get it. He wasn't a starter, but he's a pass catching,
Same with the
versatile,
Chiefs.
run out of the shotgun, run out of the spread. That guy's got some skills. He's
He
gonna
does, man.
It's gonna be more
He
of a
does.
natural fit for him here. I'm kind of anxious to see what he's got. And
Me too, man.
I will say this.
Me too.
I bumped into a little birdie the other day. Birdie that's in the building, and they're excited about what they saw, what they've seen so far in Le'Veon.
That's good, man.
Yep.
That's good, man. But anyway, family, y'all have a Merry Christmas, man. And next time y'all invite Donnie somewhere, invite him to church. You see, you don't want to hang out at no bar. Just say, hey, man, come to my church on Sunday. He'll be glad to go, and y'all can take him out to Piccadilly or something afterwards. He go back home to his family.
You got it twisted.
Y'all have a man.
Donnie needs to take us to church. It's the opposite.
This show
Donnie be
definitely
looking at y'all.
needs the Lord.
All right, man. Y'all have a good Christmas, man.
You too,
All right,
Smitty. Love you, man.
Love you, bro.
Have a good Christmas. Listen, Donnie, we're having a little shindig at a church that happens to serve food this Sunday.
Yeah, this weekend.
Church this weekend.
So you should
The
come
church
on
that they
through.
brew beer in this church is weird.
Yeah, it's a holy beer. I don't know if you ever heard of this. It's a holy beer.
Church booties.
Yeah, it's called bootleggers, but it's man, I
It's
don't know how to explain that one because that's a terrible word for a church. But
I
it's
don't know. Soft and wings gonna be there though. I don't know. I haven't been yet.
they got chicken wing meat in their mac and cheese.
Yeah,
Y'all better get you guys got to get.
They
there
have
this
a
Sunday.
guava-based sauce on those wings, man. They got mac
They
and
do.
cheese. They got fucking amazing food. Donnie, you got to try the food. Come on.
I do have to try the food. I do.
Yeah, I know it's Christmas. I know you're not on some fucking health kick. You're eating the ham. You're eating the turkey. You're eating all the cookies. I know what you're doing, man. I know what you were doing. You were planning for this weekend here coming up. That you're like,
Donnie, are you a ham guy or a turkey guy?
I'm going ham. I think he's a ham guy.
I'm a ham guy.
Mm. Yeah, I can eat a ham.
I like
ham
the
on
honey
Christmas.
baked ham.
Yeah, ham on Christmas works for me.
Before we leave, Don, I got to ask you, man. I'm sure you've had plenty of Christmas dinners with former teammates during the playing times and during your post-career moments. Give me something, man. Give me something about a funny Christmas story with a former player, maybe with Rondé. I'd love some. Come on,
What a weird
give me
question,
something,
bro.
I gotta know.
Weird
I know
question.
that is a weird question.
I want to know.
What kind of weird?
Because
It's
the
the
weirdest shit
holidays.
happens. No, you know the weirdest shit happens
the
when you get a bunch of
holidays,
people.
yeah.
You're drinking. You're fucking having food. It's Christmas. You know some funny shit comes out of that. Come on.
Yeah, but what happens in the holiday party stays in the holiday party.
See, yeah, there's no time. Exactly, there's no statute of
I
limitations.
want you to
on that
tell
shit.
me the one time you heard Derek Brooks curse outside of the football. That's what I want to hear about.
Have you ever heard Derek curse?
Off the field.
No, I don't think so. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I don't play golf with him, I done done everything with him. I don't think so.
Wait, Donnie, does Derek have does he say something like, does he place other silly curse words in place of real curse words? Is he that guy? That's like,
No.
dang.
Probably should have
No,
Dadgummit.
no.
He probably should have
Dadgummit.
Dadgummit from
Dadgummit.
FSU. That was a
That's a Bobby Bowden thing right there. You're
Yeah,
That's
right.
a
played
Bobby
with Bobby.
Brown thing, yeah.
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 Oh, wow.
Not much.
Dang, that's unfair. That's unfortunate.
So I don't have anything for you, Sam. I can't.
No dirt, man. You always trying to pull up dirt.
I'm
I know,
trying,
he's
man.
trying to pull up dirt all
I
the
know
time.
100% that Derek would never come on this show because we curse way too much.
Oh no, yeah.
Not professional.
Not to mention you
At
talk
all.
major shit about his co-host on his show. I'm sure Derek hates us.
Yeah, I'm sure Derek loves looking at a guy like this the entire time. hey there. Hey, Derek. Welcome back to the... All right. Hey, all right.
Hey, Donnie
It's-
probably
it's-
likes Ira. Donnie,
It's the
you like
holidays.
Ira, huh?
So-
I like Ira.
because he hasn't gotten his boy in. So, probably doesn't like him. He can't say that on
He's-
here
he's
because
gonna
he's a
get there.
professional. We can't put Donnie in a precarious situation like that, Stank. Why the fuck are you doing that, man? Come on.
Right.
Hey,
You're the one
everybody-
trying to get the dirt.
No, I was asking him for other
Exactly.
people. Other people. It's
And trying
it doesn't
to
matter.
make me go to a fake church. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Fake
exactly.
church. Like I'm inviting you to some Scientology event. Tom Cruise will be there. We're gonna have some eyes wide shut after the game. It's gonna be awesome,
Hey,
bro.
this is Scientology demographic. Honestly, we right in with that wheelhouse. Lots of them around here.
Everybody
Shout out to
in
all
the
you
chat.
Scientologists.
Everybody in the chat, everybody watches and listens to us. Hope you guys all have a good Christmas. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy, what's the thing that
Festivus.
Festivus, yeah.
Festivus,
All
yes.
of that. Donnie, of course, same to you and your family, man. We've appreciated you
Absolutely.
coming on here during the 2021.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Happy holidays to
Happy
everybody.
holidays, man.
Absolutely. Let's give a deuce to everybody out there. Be
Peace.
safe,
Go
have
Bucs.
fun, and Merry Christmas.